For starters, we have a new starting screen. It's silhouetted because I have the other one. It is literally just I put a black layer over top of the character. But first, let's take a look back. So this is the guy we've had for a while now. Yes, it is a Minecraft background. I was trying to think of what to use for my like VTuber background stuff, and I couldn't think of anything, so I just decided to have a 5-minute video that is just my Minecraft world. So yeah, it is we have a day and we have a night version, but since it's Minecraft being recorded, it's a little darker. There are some fun little things. If you like pay attention long enough, you can see that there's in the back there's some villagers going, iron golems and stuff going around. It's not lifeless. The night version is a bit more, but still. This model, as we to this one, this was the first proper VTuber model I used to make videos with. We have the 100 days one, which is rough, to say the least, but it was my first attempt. It was after drawing for 100 days straight. This was probably like 150, 200-ish, somewhere around there. I like this guy. It's very rough and very clearly an early one. I have a lot of things I'd fix about it by nature of just being my first proper one that I did all the rigging for, where it's got head stuff and all this stuff. You can go up and side to side, but it definitely has some flaws. And I've improved as an artist since, so I wanted to make a new one because today, December 1st, is a year of drawing every day for me. For at least half an hour. Most days it was an hour and a half, 2 hours. If I had to guesstimate how many total hours, it was probably 400 something, maybe a little more. But now it's time to take this guy out back. And now, without further ado, we're gonna do the fun little VTuber debuts. You get to watch the Minecraft world for a little longer. And now we have my legs, my little feet. You'll see this one goes up and down more. I did actually rig the leg up and down, which I did not on the last one, because I was like, when am I gonna need that? And I probably still won't use it a lot, but it's there. And you can see it go up and down, side to side. And we're gonna slowly take it down. So the theme for this one was balance and order. Mainly through the color palette, but also just through vibe. To begin with, we have some nice baggy pants that fit nicely into the shoes, because I like the look of it. A little more texture, a little more shading, a little ruggedness. You can see the nice little line across it for some variety. But as we go down, you'll notice something a little different. My arm has been lost, which was the emotion of the whole if your arm causes you to sin, cut it off. So I did, and now we have a mechanical arm. It goes up to well, sorry, let's spoil you. We got the crop top on. What I think I wanted to do for this one is also to be kind of, and not androgynous, but a little more showy. Because my initial idea was the Freudian concept of the id, ego, and superego, where there's the lust and control and the balance there, which to some extent was the the gavel. Why that was there was to kind of have an order and control, and I just thought it looked kind of cute hanging there. It's the one that if you go the most left and right, you can see kind of spin, or not spin, what am I saying, dangles. But I also just kind of like the fit. I think I saw it somewhere and went, let's do that one. So I did it. We also have a little pouch, because why not? The arms are Kaneki's thing when he's being tortured. And then afterwards, because I was trying to think of a vaguely interesting pose that I could still do without being the default VTuber pose. But then as we continue to go up, we noticed that it's a sweater, because we had to keep the sweater motif. Just because I wanted to. The shading on this one is, I had it on the arms, so it looked weird, so we kind of just have it on the stomach, but then we also have a side cape. because I like capes, but I'm also increasingly realizing they kind of are a thing that adds to silhouette, but I don't know how much I want to keep in the next one. Which is why, as we'll see later, I have addressed that. So the cape goes over the shoulder. You can see we have a whole new hairstyle. A whole new hairstyle. Because I wanted one, and so I did. And as we finally go up, we're just gonna bite the bullet now. Voila, a new fit. A maker's model. We have the cape, and a more refined face, and some new eyes, and a better mouth. It's a little less like boing expressive as the other one, but makes up for it by being fun. You at the side part, where it is just all of the inside. It's kind of, I was kind of inspired by Carbo from the new Pokemon Legends CA because I think he looks really cool. So we have a nice purple hair, the little thing. This was the little blue crystal, kind of just for vibes, but is a reference to Macross Delta because I wanted something interesting in the hair, so I added that. The ears, I just thought they look fun. They do little jiggle and flish and do all that fun stuff when I blink, because of course they do, as they should. I just kind of like the hairstyle. Like, honestly, I had tried this with, like, the Uta from Tokyo Ghoul one, but it is really hard to make this kind of hair look good as a beginner in VTube Studio and Live 2D, which is probably just a skill issue, but also, you know, it is what it is. I'm pretty happy with it turned out. As you will see, there's a chibi model I'm working on in the works that adds an extra strand of hair somewhere, because I just kind of wanted it to add a little more dimension. But other little details, the flower, that's meant to be Aerith's flower because I love Aerith with all my heart and soul. This little brown bit was meant to be a kind of like peek into the insides of the mechanical body, because it is still keeping in line with the last one, a mechanical body, but this time it's the real one. But this one I also did a little extra lifting, and I did some toggles, which is I can turn off the cape to just have the nice little vibe, which I do like. But I also like the cape. And then we have the cape and my old VTuber's corpse. He's currently sitting on me. He is dangling. If I move, he moves with it. Because, you know, this is a new model. We're bringing in the new era. And as such, we're going to carry his corpse with us. Will this be on all the time? Probably not. And there's a fun part. If I turn it actually can't turn the cape off. Because if I turn the cape off and not the hanging body, it looks really bad. But we can do bits and pieces of both, because I like it. The hanging body was just a fun little... Put it back on. It's not rigged the best because I didn't... It was a late idea, but I wanted to do it because I thought it'd be fun. So here he is. And now we have... That's really all the model. I kind of wanted to bring in the new era, but also still make it clear that this is a continuation of the old one and not just like a redesign. It's an iteration instead of just a brand new, even though it is just an entirely new design. But now, let's go to the slides. Alright, folks, welcome to my 2.0 debut. The new model, color schemed appropriately. The nice like purple. Our new lore. I have enough strength to return to my mortal form, but my desire for balance cost me my eye, as you can see by the eye patch. Also partially a reference to a Geha from Brasara, a manga you should all read. Some of my internal organs, as evidenced by the little brown bit. And one of my arms, because of the mechanical arm. But the sacrifice was necessary to maintain control. It's necessary to maintain balance. So the tags, we decided to do tags now with the marks, which is just the puzzle piece, and if that's taken, add a hammer. I didn't look that deep because there are a lot of VTubers and a lot of marks. The tags, fan art, is just Hagita art. There was one without the double A, it is double A, but someone had their own thing from like 2 years ago, so we're kind of just doing the thing. And the general one is just Hagita because I thought it was fun. And I want to think of a more broad one that wasn't just the base name because it is an anime character. But that's that. There's the whole model here in the slide. You can... I'll I'll move myself out of the way so that you can use it if you so desire. Just in case you want to draw fan art or whatever you so desire. I will not stop you. I would very appreciate it and it'd be fun. Next, we have all the credits, which is I did everything here. The art, me. Rigging, me. Starting screen, me. It was a one-man effort because I am a person who really should probably seek help for things, but I also find great joy in doing things on my own and struggling to get better at art because I just tie this into my art growth as a whole. Because making a VTuber is a interesting process to draw, but also a very good one when it's kind of a slow day and you just don't want to draw a lot because it's very piece-minute. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. But I do have some shout-outs to do, which is first for Chapuco and Mary Luffy, which is because they were the ones who helped me with rigging stuff and also how to make VTuber artwork in Procreate, because if you export it, it is confused and you have to fix it all before you can make it actually work in Live 2D. The biggest one to Chapuco, because I basically just followed her tutorials for how to rig stuff. And then for Serious Fauna, may she rest in peace. Because this was the whole... I started drawing day one was because she got announced that she was going to graduate. And I went, oh, you know what? I'm going to start drawing. And now here we are, a whole 365 days later. And I'll have a video about that whole process in and of itself a little later in the week because I want to finalize my thoughts, and technically the day we're streaming this is day 365. But yeah, a whole year, which is really weird to think about, but I'm glad we got there. Next, we have the other things. We have my likes and dislikes, which have not changed, but have gotten bigger. And we will move myself once more, which is the little corners. You can see everything. So for likes, most of these were the same as the last debut, but this time in a serious version, which is anime. We'll get back to that. Pokemon. I love Pokemon. The Miku lock is on the way. It will use the old model because it was relevant to the old model. I'm afraid I have fallen in love with Hatsune Miku and Vocaloid as a whole. There will probably be a video on that someday, just to kind of document my rise and fall into the rabbit hole. I like drawing. Surprise, surprise. I did it for years straight. I do enjoy it. I'm already designing the next version of this model. Will I change the hairstyle? Probably. Will I keep most of it? Who knows? Are capes more annoying than I thought? Yes. But as always, I kind of want these models to be like iterative, where they kind of show my art progress. So in like 2-3 years, it'll be a lot better than it is now, but for now, we're doing well. I also love manga, big manga guy. I kind of want to do read-throughs at some point. Do like big read-throughs of series I haven't read, or just like one-shots, because I know there's all of the Viz one-shots and like Manga Plus ones that I'd love to just do a stream and read. And lastly is movies. I love movies. I think I've seen like 50 this year. Maybe I'll do some watch-throughs of things that I like, just for fun. And the other column is my Oshis. Human being and VTuber. The biggest one, Nimby Nightmare. One of the few I watch like as much as I can. Lord Athelstan. Just a big like creative inspiration, and also just a great stream vibe that I hope to take inspiration from. Alfred, more on the video side because I just like his videos. They're fun, entertaining, and I would like to also take inspiration from Coney because he has enough bits to make this world go round, and I think I want to emulate that because I have the ability to draw, and instead of having to pay for a costume, I can just make a silly model. And lastly, Seriously Immigrant, which is another one, just like a lot of bits and a lot of fun that I enjoy watching. And now onward to the next slide. Get my slideshow up. Which is, I did a 3x3, and I have to move myself somehow to be not in the way of this, which is going to be an issue. So we're going to put ourselves like here and hope for the best. I'm going to block it, but like you can read most of those. So I wanted to do like a 3x3, my favorite anime and manga, because that is like the primary thing that I'm about. This is my top 9 as of now. It's a mix between my anime and manga one on my anime list because they're kind of together and intertwined now, and I can't really separate a bunch of them. So we have on the top, we have Blue Period, which is just an inspiring manga for art and also just to kind of give yourself a reality check sometimes. It's not this like hugely you're gonna grow in a week thing. Like it's a thing that takes time and process and involves actually struggling and stuff like that. Below it we have Psychopaths, which I just think is the coolest anime ever made. Immaculate vibes, immaculate soundtrack, immaculate character arc, immaculate story. Just everything about it is perfect and I love it a lot. Zangatsu no Line, I think it's just a great story, like character wise, and the stuff that if we ever pray to God get a third season will make so much more sense why it's one of my favorite stories ever. The father arc is incredible and I wish people would read it and share it so we can get a season 3 and do that. Second column, we have Orgairu, which I'll have a video later this month, which is probably my favorite anime of all time because of sentimental value, because it is just an anime that changed my life in high school. It was one of those, like, this is at the perfect time in my life, and as such, has left a profound impact on me. In the same vein, we have Haikyuu, which has been a driving force for my current adult life in really just pursuing a goal and understanding that life is a process you have to gradually get better at and grow and grow and grow. It's not going to be like a shoot to the top. It's a thing you make happen. It's just about the process. And I think that's a very humbling series for me that also makes me cry a lot because I grabbed this picture for the image and it immediately made me cry and I didn't even watch the rest of the scene. And below it, we have Hunter x Hunter. The middle column is basically my top 3 of anything. Like, those are my favorite anime and manga of all time. Hunter x Hunter is just an incredible story from start to finish. It's kind of impressive how he is just in a league of his own in terms of story, characters. The Chimera Ant arc in general is... I don't know how a human being created something that good. It is incredible. Every time I think about it, I'm like, man, this might be better than I thought. And I already have it as like one of my favorite arcs of all time. And finally, the right column, which is ones that, you know, don't have an anime yet or don't have a good anime, which is, I'm just realizing now it's an odd thing between all of them, besides the Ikoku Nikki, which is just because it doesn't have an anime because it come out yet. But 7 Season Berserk, besides the 1997 Berserk, but the new ones are all, you know, not great. But to begin with the Ikoku Nikki, incredible series. One of my favorite, like, grief stories ever, of just how that takes shape in your life and affects you in varying ways, which, you know, is a great thing that I love a lot about a story. I'm a big grief kind of guy. For 7 Seeds, we're not talking about the anime. Get that gross thing out of here. I don't know who greenlit that looking like it was. That's the thing that just doesn't ever need an anime ever, because it is one of the most beautifully drawn manga I have ever seen. There are so many just threads or panels where I am in awe that a human being thought of this image and created what is just a painting. Like, even the panel here is one of like hundreds that are just beautiful to look at. But it's also a story that I think is just incredible. There are so many arcs in here that I think are just beautifully done, that are so soul-crushing, but in the most like well-constructed way possible. And there's also just character work in here that I really haven't seen in many other series. Just overall, I was incredibly blown away by it, and I still am. And I'm like, man, I should reread this. And lastly, we have Berserk. I feel like I don't really need to say why this is one of the greatest pieces of fiction ever made. The Golden Age arc is one of my favorite arcs of all time, and the rest of the story is still incredibly good. The art is great. Post-Mirror, it's definitely taken a hit, but it's still pretty good. I'm still enjoying it. And that's my favorites. Many of these, I mean, we have like 4 Haikyuu videos. There's an Origairu one in the works. 7 Seeds. I want to make one, but I don't know how to make an interesting one because there's... Well, I do, but I have an idea. Most of these are not in... I'm not locking anything in now. Besides the one that I've already written and I'm working on as we speak. And lastly, let's see. Do I have any more slides? No, I have no more slides. So let's go back to the just chatting. But we'll do the night one this time. Oh, I just screwed myself. Sorry, screwed myself. Well, with all of this being said, myself back in the middle again, make myself bigger. My goal for 2026 is to just make more things. I really do want to use this model to its limit, and then when I make a new one, do it all over again. Because I have a lot of things that I want to try and make videos. December should be pretty busy because I have a lot of videos coming out and a lot of ones scripted that I'm working on. It's a big payoff for the art year because a lot of the year I structured around that like year of art. And also December happens to be very good for like YouTube videos, so we're gonna do that anyways. But we did it. We made it a whole year of drawing and now we're on Model 2. But as a surprise for all of you, we'll show you a sneak peek behind the wheel of a model that I did that never saw the light of day, but I want to acknowledge that it exists. Which is a version 1.426 or something like that. I don't know, we'll pick a number later. Which is one that I have, you can kind of see the beginnings of the early model of the current one, which is this like closer to the newer hair, but also still very rough shading. The eyes in it are, a lot of I didn't use it because the eyes are like really big and it kind of freaked me out. I do like the overall aesthetic, but I think I've definitely improved as an artist and could render this a lot better because it's very kind of scuffed. Like most of this is just, I put the ice Procreate brush and just kind of scribbled all over it. But the Mellow Wet is still there, which is for the Miku lock, which is now finished. But here's this model. It's real. Just so everyone's, when I say they're like, oh, we're on that, we're getting Kingdom Hearts with the naming things where it's like 1 point whatever. Because it was after V1, but it is not V2 because I didn't like enough to use it for V2, even though I did rig like the whole thing. But now we return to the new guy. We'll be using for the foreseeable future. The new one is very, 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 very early in designs. I said I wanted to make a kind of inspired one on a certain theme. And then it kind of evolved into, oh, I'm just going to make a new one, so we're making a new one. But that's not all, because I have the ability to draw and debate, regardless of skill, I have the ability to draw. And so we have some special models in, because if I make a model for one video, I don't have to rig all of it. I just have to rig what you see, which is not true of this, where I've rigged all of it and it's all well and good. But if I'm only doing a video where you're only going to see this much, I can make a lot more guys. And so I will be making more guys whenever I feel like I have a video where I want to make an extra guy. But that's really all I have for today. I thought I would have a little more, but I kind of just wanted to get this out into the world to show that we are on the new model. This is the new guy for the foreseeable future. And I'm quite proud of him, even if there are definitely things that were a struggle. But I'll probably make a whole video on just how rough it is to make a VTuber when you're still new at it. Because I did not make any between, well, besides the one I just showed, between that and this one. So I was very rusty in doing the full ones, but I'm happy with how it turned out. And there will be more in the future. So look forward to those. But now,